Today is Wednesday, March 7th, 2018. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor Ghost Island Week 2.
This episode was titled Only Time Will Tell, and that was spoken by Morgan. Previously on Survivor at Ghost Island, Jacob was the first to visit. Well, he's the first visitor. He got the legacy advantage, willed it to Morgan. Dominic made a fake idol to gain trust, but it backfired. James was on the hot seat at Tribal Council, but Jacob got the boot. Pretty straightforward. No real rewriting there. Just boom, 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 and we're done. End of the episode. All right, Malolo, we're coming back at night 6 after Tribal Council, and James tells us that he is drained after that Tribal Council.
He was on a roller coaster ride all night.
Yeah, as a Korean American, he said that he wanted to own his responsibility for what had happened in that challenge, and he was very concerned that he might be going, but it was all for naught.
And Libby convinces him to forgive himself.
They had other plans. Don't blame yourself for failing the tribe. Yes.
And they declared they're done losing.
Done and done. Okay, it's day 7. No one seems to be surprised that Jacob is gone. Right? Navite's like, yep, okay. Pretty much what we predicted. And they welcome back Donathan.
Even Donathan didn't seem surprised.
No. And Libby tried to maintain the we're the best tribe vibe when Propes asked her how they were doing. And Bradley says that Navite's strong.
She saw where that got Jacob.
Yeah. All right. Time for that tribe switch shuffle that we saw in the next time on Survivor.
Yes, they only showed that to show us that both tribes are very happy as they are.
What did you think about Angela's reaction? When the shuffle's announced.
It made me think personally that she might be in trouble of her emotions getting the better of her because of her situation and all her mega life changes all at once.
She chose to describe that particular event as feeling like a broken family, which it seems like
hits her on both fronts.
Yeah, her backstory,
losing
right?
her career.
Yep.
And having the camaraderie there, and also losing, her splitting from her husband and her kids going away to school.
Yeah, it's like it was a lot of things.
Yeah,
all
that's
wrapped
why I
up
said
into one.
I thought that showed a little bit of that she's got a lot to deal with out there, and it could have more and more effect on her the longer she's out there, because there's probably so much she hasn't dealt with yet.
Yep, and that's definitely why I had her being voted out this week.
To allow that to show in front of the other tribe.
Yeah, but they may not. They probably don't have all the other details and backstory. You think she shared with them all that?
No, they don't have to. What I'm saying is she's emotionally upset about swapping out the tribes.
I love the contrast between her and Stephanie. When they asked Stephanie about it in her confessional, she's like, well, I had a good thing going, but I'm okay to ride the wave. You got to surf this out. And she's ready to hit the reset button and start again and work on her alliances.
Yep.
So, fantastic contrast between the two approaches, perceptions of how things are going in the game.
Well, and Stephanie, she seemed to be in a power position. She thinks she was, and it appeared to us that she was, too.
So her view of loss versus Angela's view of loss. Great contrast. And that was shown, I'm sure, for a reason.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, the new Navite, the Purple Tribe, Donathan, Libby, Laurel, and James join Morgan, Chris, Dominic, Wendell, and Angela.
Okay.
And for the new Malolo Tribe, you have Jenna, Stephanie, Michael, Brendan, joined by Sebastian, Kellen, Chelsea, Bradley, and Desiree. What do you think of the new tribe?
Well, very interesting in the composition. 5 and 5 versus 4 and 4, the way it ended up.
Yeah.
certainly didn't seem to be to original Malolo's advantage the way
I don't
it
think it
started
was
off.
a random draw. I think those 2 trays, they must have. It was random.
It was
in
random
that-
men and random women, right?
I don't know.
That's how they normally do those. That's why they have the 2.
I don't know. I wasn't sure how they did that. But anyway, because they had 10 members left, then, yeah, they're still in the majority. Because they hadn't lost anybody. So, but that hurts when you're going into the tribe and you're in the minority within the tribe.
The way you said that, it seemed like it implied that it was going to be that way, but it could have just as easily been a smattering
Yeah, I guess
of
if they did it
Naviti
that way,
into a
men
tribe.
and women.
A
I was thinking if they mixed it tribe,
Yeah.
like so many men on this tribe and so many women and so many men and women on this tribe. But I guess that's the same thing. They just, okay, never mind.
Kellen's excited to be open to more treasure boxes of love, she says. That was an interesting approach. But then, truthfully, on the side in confessional, she said, yeah, but really we're
Yeah, we're going to pick them off.
keeping Naviti together. Okay. Okay, so over to New Malolo there on day 7.
Hates the Malolo camp.
Yes.
But, you know, you got to think, yes, okay, maybe their beach was more beautiful, but why do you keep ragging on something that people have worked hard on? You know, oh, we have it better and we have it and ours is, but you know, and this is terrible over here.
Classic survivor sin, the overconfidence. You think you've got the majority on lock, and therefore you can say and do whatever you want without having to censor yourself.
Exactly. And
Which
that's
you should
exactly
always
what they're
do.
doing.
That proverb, slave to what you share, master of what you
And
keep to
I
yourself.
think showed Bradley more than anybody complaining.
Well, Kellen said their shelter was a hot mess and compared it
Yep.
to the classic ugly baby scenario. But yeah, Bradley obviously gets highlighted multiple times, and Brendan even calls him a crybaby,
Yeah.
which I really like. Brendan,
They all complain a lot.
they're all a bunch of whiners from Naviti. And you have to be really careful in those high stress situations. If you let yourself go negative, you can spiral, and then it can get away from you.
It can.
And so dwelling on any of that is just a really bad idea in any kind of a scenario.
Well, they got spoiled right off the bat with their comfort items. Mm-hmm. So you can tell and obviously they think Dominic and the others built a way superior shelter.
Yeah.
So, which is good for the other people.
Yep. So speaking of that, over at Naviti on day 7, the old Malolos are getting a look at what they put together there.
Compare with Jonathan, Naviti is a beautiful beach.
It's a paradise. Yep. He's just really surprised in all the comforts and the 2 fires and this area and that area, the daytime area, the nighttime area. Yeah, it did sound a lot better the way they sold it, huh?
Yep.
But Chris, he's not having any of it. He's focused on getting rid of Dominic.
Yeah, boy, he jumps on that right out of the gate and alienated Angela. Mm-hmm. She didn't have nobody telling her what to do.
Yeah. He wanted her to get, what did he say, get her army mind right? He wanted her to get back in battle mode.
I don't know, but it was a little pushy.
Yeah, well,
For
to
me.
hear her tell it was extremely pushy,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah.
others, too,
Yep.
later, yeah.
And well, even the 4, you know, they didn't seem to care much for all of that either, you know. And even when, of course, when Dominic talked to them too, I think they felt the same way. They weren't trusting anybody. And Libby tells us she'll play dumb, but she won't be dumb.
Yeah, I like that. Good on you, Libby. I reassessed Libby a little bit this week for sure.
Yeah,
I hadn't credited her with having anything in the way of game, but I liked how she managed all that and rolled with it.
Yeah, I just haven't warmed up to her yet for some reason. I don't know if it's just we haven't seen enough of her gameplay or what. But.
Definitely she's being showcased this week.
Okay, day 8 over at Malolo. Steph and Kellen are watching the sunrise.
Another great contrast,
Yep.
right? Steph's talking about how beautiful that is, and Brandon, he's freezing and he's whining and he's complaining about the dirt.
And I hate it and the dirt. And
Stephanie says, "Yep, Naviti, they're just a bunch of whiners and complainers."
Then we get to see Jenna and Stephanie hunting for an idol.
Wait, you skipped over a part where they're talking with
goodness.
Kellen at the well.
Okay.
And Kellen's speech to them is basically, "It sucks to be you. You're outnumbered." I thought Kellen had something going, but for her to be so overconfident,
Yeah.
for her not to court more potential votes she could use down the road.
Well, this was before the challenge. But I would think after the challenge and the way the choice for Ghost Island went down, that they would maybe backtrack a little bit after that, seeing that they may not have the numbers when it comes time.
I thought Kellen had game. I didn't realize she was going to run around showing her cards like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad move on her part. Okay, so
Yep, great contrast with the search for the idol, while Desiree and Kellen and Bradley are talking about how they've got the game on lock.
and Michael and Brendan are doing the same thing somewhere else on the island, and I guess they picked the right spots.
Yes, I was so hopeful that my USB Stephanie was going to find it, but no, it turned out it was the 18-year-old, the minor.
Michael, his name is Michael.
Uh-huh.
Well, good on them. They found an idol. Good
Yeah.
job.
That's very cool, though, the way it was the first season that Michael had watched with Survivor China. So
Okay.
he remembered that James had done that. And, of course, James made history, being the only one to go out with 2 idols.
You could tell that's the one it was because of the shape of it when he picked it up. I thought,
The
oh,
size.
that's James's.
Yeah.
And I thought, so why didn't you get both of them?
Yeah, they only needed one.
James had 2.
Yeah, but they're not going to just give someone 2 immunity idols.
Well, you know,
Uh-huh.
if he's really trying to redeem James's mistake.
Yeah. I think one's enough to break
Yeah,
the curse.
okay.
Actually, having one work would break the curse. Reverse the curse, as they want us to say.
Then we flip back over to Navidi, and Morgan and Dominic are chit-chatting about what they want to do.
Yep.
And they had already observed before Chris even left that he was trying to get close to Angela and
Rope them all in.
rope
they
the other
said.
4 in.
Yep.
So they decide they need to do the same thing. They need to pull those 4 over.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, these guys are in demand.
Morgan says she may have to go after Chris, so she makes a bond with Libby. That seemed like it was a pretty good bond.
Yeah, I thought so. And since they were both Catholics and they had something in
Bonded
common.
over their
and-
religion, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, it's Survivor, and I like it that they're there to play. So.
And Libby was basically mirroring everything Morgan was saying. She thought, yeah, she could work with Morgan. So that looked like a pretty interesting alliance
Or
forming.
not. Yeah, but I like it that she was willing to go wherever she needed to.
Yeah. All right, day 9, community challenge time. What'd you think about this challenge along the watchtower? Kierhofer told us the name of it in that extra video.
I liked it. It had a lot of physicality to it.
I love they incorporated the American Ninja Warrior jumps in there.
Yep,
That was really
yep,
cool in the
yep.
beginning. Yeah, I
And
like
it
that.
looked harder than it did
It looked harder than it did? What
on
does that
Ninja
mean?
Warrior.
Oh,
Looked harder to me when they were doing it.
oh,
They just didn't seem.
maybe they don't have the skills to do it.
Well, they
too.
don't have the people that are
Yeah,
on the Ninja Warrior show
yeah. I don't think it was set up
have
quite.
trained for that. So
Yeah.
but they just look so awkward doing it.
Although some of them looked awkward. Some of them they really blazed it, right?
Yeah, I was
Chris and
surprised at
Sebastian
James.
did great. Yep.
Yeah, they did right off the bat.
Well, I
Didn't
think
expect
we got to
that,
stop being surprised at James. James may have
but- Yes.
physical presence. He doesn't really have coordinated athleticism or
Jonathan did better than James.
again, yes. Yeah.
So Jonathan did well this challenge.
James
I was
and
pleased to see that.
was it James and Angela? Who else?
Desiree? had
Desiree,
trouble.
they had trouble. They had to do it multiple times, yeah.
So they had to redo until they got through,
Yep. Then they dig up the big old ladder and then raise that
which
up.
looked very heavy.
Yep. Had some weight.
I thought they were going to have a lot more trouble holding it while somebody climbed up.
Both tribes seem to get that really stable.
I know,
huh?
and
Yeah.
I was surprised by that. I was just sure that was going to give them trouble.
The thing that was
That's
even
hard.
more surprising was that it wasn't wrapped all the way around up there.
Oh, yeah.
It was only wrapped like 2.5 times, and then it
and
came off, right?
Jonathan was the one that chose to just shoot right up there.
Yeah.
He didn't hesitate.
Yep.
And I thought, if anybody stepped on hands,
Although
they didn't show it.
Yeah, although I did notice that he wasn't really willing to go all the way up there.
I wouldn't either.
He had a little. Well, you wouldn't have gotten up the second step.
No, I wouldn't.
He had trouble. He didn't. He only wanted to go up to like where the top of it was under his arm, where he could hang on. So that
I support
caused
that.
him to lose a little time. Yeah, Chelsea did really well on that part for the other tribe.
Yes, she did. She's pretty good in the challenges.
Yep.
So was Morgan.
Yep.
She was good in challenges. Okay, so Malolo was the first to the top to get to the puzzle. Bradley and Laurel. Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was Wendell and Laurel. Bradley and Kellen.
Yeah.
I don't know how I switched that, but
Yep.
But anyway.
I'll just say before that, on the climbs up with throwing the monkey fist and then pulling yourself up and then the teamwork required, both tribes did really good on that part. I thought they may struggle a little bit, especially where someone had to go up, like where Sebastian had trouble on that first jump and didn't get it to pull himself up. But once he and Dominic got up there, Dominic for the other tribe, they were able to get their tribes up there pretty quick.
What's the other thing that they took that from, that they do that? I mean, they've done it on Survivor before, too, that section. But that other show we watched where they're all muddy and...
Oh, the Spartan race.
Yeah, the Spartan race.
Where they help each other up the vertical walls. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, except those walls are a lot tougher than this one.
Yes, and they're muddy.
Yeah.
The people are muddy, so...
Yeah.
It's worse. But that's what it made me think of.
Yep,
so.
sorry. Okay, done with the rewind.
Okay.
The puzzle, Kellen, Bradley versus Wendell and Laurel. What'd you think about that?
I liked it. I thought it was a good puzzle, but
I like that Easter Island 3-dimensional puzzle, even better than the cube from before. Yeah.
I loved that when Wendell called Probst out for saying they were falling behind. Don't say that, Probst. I'm sorry. I'm sure it pulled his focus that he was, having conversation with Probst.
His
Just
focus was
recording
already pulled because he wasn't doing too well. Right, he was busy looking at the other tribe's
it was more
puzzle.
distracting too. Anyway, Malolo wins by a mile.
Yeah, just crushed him.
Yeah.
I think that was more Kellen than it was Bradley, but they were a good team getting it done.
Oh yeah. Well, she's directed puzzles before. The cube one she helped direct. Okay, so they cannot decide.
Steph dissents when they try to focus in on Donathan.
Good on her.
So because it had to be unanimous, she basically pulled a block. Yep, and forced them to draw rocks, which everybody had an even chance to go. Yep.
And Probst inside is just giggling like, yes, yes.
Okay, so Chris draws that white rock and he is off to Ghost Island.
And so now it's 4-4. That's why I say I hope the people on Malolo from Naviti are taking note that could happen to you too.
Yep, I would imagine they are. Dominic tells us that Chris was lucky because he was going to get voted out. Morgan tells us that she was freaking out that it was 4-4 now. Okay, day 9, Chris is at Ghost Island, and he's hoping that they continue to target Dominic the way he had set the plan in motion. So he goes to the smash the urn portion and learns that no soup for you.
No game for you today.
Right. Okay, what about the next segment there with Chris?
He's really missing his family. We were talking about it, you and I, when it was going on, how awesome that would be for us to be out there on our own, get away from it.
It would be helpful to get a break from
even though it can hurt people in the game,
intensity,
but just to get those moments on your own, just to have some time to really think through things.
I've often thought that would be one of the hardest aspects of the game for me because I need alone time to recharge. Being around people, like it takes a lot out of me from that perspective, especially when you're on, right? It's going to take a lot out of anyone.
Yeah. You'd be
so
nutty.
That break. So I guess I wasn't surprised with how he responded. I've had some similar responses when I was doing survival skills, and even our own personal life stories are somewhat similar there. So I could really relate to what he was talking about with all that stuff with his mom.
Well, I was impressed, and I like seeing the other side of him, the more sensitive side, and that he wasn't afraid to let it out.
He knew he needed to. That was really good. Yeah,
And
that shows
that
a level.
was his way of recharging.
Shows a level of maturity that I hadn't attributed to him. Also,
I agree.
all right. So he hits the reboot button there at Ghost Island. Good for him.
And he's just hoping that they'll go ahead and vote Dominic out.
Okay, back at Nunavite there on day 9 after tribal counts, after the immunity challenge, rather.
Okay, so what did Angela have to accomplish by telling Wendell that I will not vote off one of my tribe? I'm not going to do it. I know Chris said, but I'm not going to do it.
She said that she would be willing to draw rocks. I think that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about her game. Unless she gets her head on straight, this is really, that's sort of the level of gamesmanship she's going to function at. And that's why you also need to get rid of her, because you can't count on someone. She's a wild card, and she's not necessarily going to react logically to scenarios.
Yeah, I don't think she's even really. She's doing this whole
she's there,
for my game, but I don't think you're really seeing that clearly.
Yeah, she's there, but she's not engaged. That's how it appears, right? So.
Well, or she doesn't know the game very well.
Yeah. Either way, you can end up not engaged if you don't know what's going on around you. Yeah.
So Morgan tells them, well, we'll vote Angela out.
Yep. Wendell's on board.
Okay.
He's gung-ho. He's ready to go. Sure, let's get rid of her. It's like Chris's right hand. That'll work.
James is the one that's probably most suspicious of everyone.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Given how he reacted to Dominic.
Yeah. That he's trying to throw us off. I think he has a real idol, which he does.
Yeah.
And
good on him for sussing that out when Dominic tries to. He makes the effort. Dominic makes the effort to share the fake idol to assure him and to give him some idea where that hostility from Chris would be coming from. And Dominic throws his hat in with them. So I'll be your fifth. So you got a majority here.
Well, and then James is the one that threw Morgan's name out there. Why don't we just vote off Morgan then? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Libby was not on board with that.
No, it seemed like the Morgan-Libby alliance was in effect and working at that point, right? She makes a case for not going after him.
Well, but good on James. I really like that he didn't try to force his opinion onto her. He's like, okay, well, we need to just touch base and decide, make a decision so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Whoever we vote for, we have to all be on the same page. And we'll do that just before tribal, and he backed away.
Yeah.
I liked that about him.
Yep. And it's worth noting he made the call on Morgan.
Yep. Well, and she probably was the biggest threat over there, I think.
That must have come up in another discussion they chose not to show us.
Yeah.
For greater effect.
Because I thought, oh, Morgan's the one that's working them all, talking to all of them, telling them, yeah. I mean, Dominic did some, but Morgan's the one they were buying it all with her, it seemed like. Yeah. So I think that was, I like Morgan. It's not that I'm happy to see her go, but I was completely blindsided. That I liked. And good on James. She was a big threat. So okay, Tribal Council. I love the eyes on the entryway statue.
Mm-hmm. The big Easter Island head, yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. I like it.
Okay, and they start out talking about 4-4.
Morgan and Wendell make it sound like it's a deadlock, but then come to find out, maybe not so much, because Dominic, he started talking to other folks, and so did Angela. And
well, I think they didn't want Angela to get suspicious.
You think that was a setup with Dominic when he said, well, who was pressuring you? That's the first I ever heard of it, so that they could have that conversation and out Chris. It seemed like a little bit of an act. Like it felt scripted somehow.
Yeah, that he was planning on doing that.
For her to talk about the pressure that Chris was putting on her.
Well, maybe he thought she was talking about him too, and she wanted to clear that up.
Morgan was quick to jump on that. She said, well, Chris is not here, so let's focus on where we are. Dominic tells us that he's comfortable with the new 4.
And James says, well, maybe they are telling the truth.
James is a little surprised. So is he aware? Does he have a sense of what's going on? Is he making a good call, or is he? What's really going on there with James? I'm not sure. It's like I don't know if there was some game within a game going, or if he really wasn't tracking things that well.
And Morgan tells us the title of the episode, Only Time Will Tell.
Yeah. What'd you think of Libby's response when Probst asked her about the lying?
I thought it was okay as responses go, and that she is cute.
It looked like she turned on the flirt machine when she was answering there, right? It was just like mega flirts coming out of her.
A little fibbing.
Mm-hmm, little fibbing, yeah.
Yeah, I think there might have been more than a little fibbing going on there. Because I'm pretty sure you flat out told Morgan you with her. So
Morgan had the right idea. She said, yes, Libby will lie at some point.
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
All right, so who did you have going?
And Wendell tells us he hopes someone makes a move.
And that they can work together in the end.
And be a stronger tribe at the end of the night. I had, who did I have going? I had Donathan.
You had Donathan going. I had Angela going. So you had lost hope for getting a vote out point.
Wait a minute. I don't remember seeing Donathan at Tribal Council. Where was Donathan?
He was there. He was on the back row. He's in between Dominic and Wendell.
But did he speak?
I don't remember Probst talking to him directly, no.
Huh. Because he got so much airtime before. That's part of the reason I thought he might be going this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, well, he's gotten a fair amount of airtime. It must be about time that they're going to cut him. And so I went with Donathan.
Yeah.
And I just realized, wait a minute, where was he?
Okay.
He was invisible Donathan tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, not
even though
completely.
he did well in the challenge, and I remember that, but
and he got welcome back. Yeah,
yeah, but I don't remember him at Tribal Council at all. So okay, maybe that was. He
doesn't strike me, given the little bit of experience we've seen with him there, like how he shrunk away.
Yeah.
For the from the one that he was in, the first one.
Yeah.
And so he probably shuts down. There may not get a lot of moments from him that they find useful. And besides, this really had nothing to do with him. So I had Angela going, you had Donathan going, and you were...
None of the above.
Yeah. Well, I was very hopeful. I liked how the votes started coming in. Libby, and then 3 for Angela, and then, boom, blindside. 4 for Morgan, and she's gone. Yep.
And then they were, tied 3-3, and I thought, oh, it's still Angela. And then Jeff turned it around, and I was like, oh, snap. Not Angela. That just kind of shocked me. Really, it did.
What did you think about Morgan's comment as she's on her way out there?
Oh, don't
trust the cute blonde. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she said cute blondes. Yeah. There's not but one blonde. Don't trust the cute blonde, huh?
Well, I thought
she said two blondes, but
yeah, you got turned around because that's what I thought because of Angela there, right? Angela and Libby, I think, would qualify as 2 blondes, but when we rewatched it was don't trust the cute blonde.
Yeah, well, I guess Angela's blonde, but that's what I thought she said at first. Don't trust the 2 blondes, and you said she said cute blonde, so I'm going with you. Your hearing's better than mine. But yeah, I was really surprised by that. So the one vote for Libby was Angela's, of course, and Morgan, Dominic, and Wendell voted for Angela. And I'm sure they thought everyone else was too. Mm-hmm. And Morgan got her votes from the 4. Jenna, Libby, James, and Laurel. Okay, but where's Donathan? Is he on this tribe?
Not Jenna. You keep trying to put Jenna on this tribe.
Oh, you're right. You know why?
Yes, we've had this discussion.
Okay. Okay, nobody else needs to know why, I guess. But
I don't think it's interesting enough. But
I was trying to figure out the tribes and who was where, and I had them right, except for Jenna and Laurel. Mm-hmm. So I still kept thinking Jenna was on their tribe because that's where I had put her in my head.
Okay, anything else you want to say about Tribal Council?
Nope.
Surprise. We got blindsided too.
Surprise.
Okay, next time on Survivor, nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Dominic talks to Wendell saying we made enemies.
Yep.
With everyone. Even on our own tribe as well as the other 4.
So he's going to have to scramble and come up with another plan. And we see him talking to Laurel, and he's telling her, yeah, I got an idol. We can work with this. I don't know if she would cut him any slack. Maybe. If she wanted to make a mover of her own.
Stephanie must think she's in trouble since, she was talking about she had so much more game to give.
And she had written hope on the beach as if she were struggling with hope to go on.
So, what do you think about Michael telling the girls that
I'm not sure what they can do with it. So, yeah, he's got an idol. What benefit was it? I'm not surprised if that's not Stephanie and Jenna working him in some way that prompted him.
Yeah,
He's feeling sorry or something, and he went in and told him because it's probably in his best interest not to, unless he needed more help thinking about how to use it.
Well,
but it's still 4 versus 5.
It is, but somebody's got to go to Ghost Island, right?
Yeah, at which point it'll be 4-4. So
if they were able
is it
to
in his interest
the
to
votes to one person,
burn an idol to draw even, or
yeah, sure,
or to use it more strategically for yourself?
Yeah, that too, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Only time will tell whether it's a mistake or not.
Look at you working in the title of the episode into Next Time on Survivor. Okay. Anything else you want to say about Next Time on Survivor?
Nope. I just wanted to say that Morgan willed her legacy advantage to Dominic.
How about that? Dominic's
cursed. He's going to be cursed.
Yeah. Dominic's got an immunity idol and the legacy advantage, which will give him immunity at 13-6 if he were to make it that far.
Yep.
What a lucky dog there.
Well, and she did that because he'd always been open and honest with her. So who else would she really give it to?
Definitely cursed Morgan, didn't it?
Yep. So, well, she can go thank Jacob back at the Ponderosa or wherever they are. So, all right. Anything else you wanted to point out about the show?
Nope. How about a JSFL update?
We had 16 people who lost their Ultimate Survivor bonus 24, their USB 24. 13 people tied for first with 10 points. 62 people lost a safe point. 8 people gained a vote-off point. Congratulations.
Yeah, you lucky devils. Good on you for seeing Morgan. Morgan was featured, so you got to add her in as a target because there was focus on her in Next Time on Survivor for the first week there.
I was just so grateful that I didn't put her safe because she would have been a good one to put safe, I thought. Mm-hmm. So, okay, side challenge.
People did too, I'm sure.
Brandon is still 62. In the lead with 10 points. With 8 points, we have Cold Mike, James and Shannon, Jeremiah, Jonathan, Kitty Cat, Randy, and Stacy. And with 7 points, Jay Kindred and Parker.
All right, there we are. Still early days in the game.
Oh, yeah. But I guess even though I haven't gotten any of the vote-offs correct, at least I haven't lost any safe points yet.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
That's the good thing.
Find the positive.
That's right.
Don't dwell on the negatives. All right, we're excited to hear what you thought about this episode here in the second week of Survivor Ghost Island Season 36. We got a voicemail line, 206-350-1547. There's a toll-free version, 844-643-8737. You can record your own there on your smartphone or however you want to do it and send it to us at joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. If you're not comfortable including your voice, you can write it up and we'll read it into the show for you. We do the listener feedback show on Saturdays, noon Pacific time. Need to get that feedback in, and we want you to think about keeping it at 3 minutes, Parker. 3 minutes, Parker. Not 12, not 4 times. What I'm asking for now. I know you're excited. I love your passion. 3 minutes in that general neighborhood. That works out great for the feedback that we get in, and that way we can put a show together that's not 3 hours long like we used to do, huh? You rascal.
I can't sit that long.
Yeah, that's true. We can't sit as long as we used to. We'd have to break it up and pause it, wouldn't we? Good deal. Well, we're excited.
Well, it has been 14 years. So.
Yes. Yep. We're excited to hear what you thought about this week's episode and your predictions for what we can expect next with these new tribes, how you think some of these underdogs might be able to turn it around, and then who's going to be the first to reverse the curse. Another good question there. Who do you see making it out of this? Because we've already got some victims. Yep. Yeah, definitely that legacy advantage. That's some bad juju right there. Somehow it may wipe Dominic out.
Well, the truth is it what happened had nothing to do with.
Now, come on now. You got
Legacy.
just get in the whole GI here, the
No,
Ghost Island thing. Let's
no.
just buy in. Let's go whole hog on this. Reverse the curse. Come on.
I think your whole hog is enough whole hog for everyone.
All right. Well, we're excited to hear what you thought. I'm looking forward to hearing some predictions that can help us with JSFL, huh?
That's true.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.